Yay me, I've officially lost 55 pounds, now let's talk about it. Hi, today is September 24th, 2023, and in case you didn't know, my name is Lisa. So I've been losing weight now for a little bit over a year, and it's really been like a slow and steady process. I had a really demanding job last year, I kept getting sick, just like a whole bunch of things were happening, but I'm really proud of how much weight I've lost so far, and most of all that I've kept it off this entire time. Even when I had setbacks, I never regained the weight. I've been doing a pretty good job just slowly and steadily losing all that weight until now finally I've lost 55 pounds. I'm officially on that weight loss train and there's no sign of stopping. So what I really want to do now is take a look back at where I started and also where I'm going. So, for example, this is a picture of me, of what I looked like in my first video. I think I had lost about 10 pounds at that time. And this is a picture of me after I lost 50 pounds. As you can see, there's a huge difference in the way that my face looks. At the time, I'd lost about 10 pounds when I started this channel, and I'd always intended it to be like a goal-setting channel where we, track and follow my progress on goals, and I help you accomplish your own goals, and then we do some other react-type content as well, and some fun travel content if I ever get around to it. But I was really dedicated to making this channel work, and I was really dedicated to losing the weight. I'd originally filmed the video in June of 2022, and then I posted it at the end of August of 2022. And around then I'd lost about 20 pounds. And so I was kind of like already on this conveyor belt of losing weight, and I felt very confident that I was gonna keep going. And you can really see that difference in my face as I was talking about, because it's not just like all of the fat that was on my face. A lot of it was actually bloat, because what I didn't know at the time when I started that diet, the current diet that I'm on, is that there was a lot of inflammatory foods that I was eating. That is like foods that were causing me to have a lot of swelling, especially around my lymph nodes in my face. And it would give me like that moony effect that you would sometimes hear about with hormones. And I just didn't make the connection that that could possibly be connected to my hormonal disorders. I know, crazy, right? And it was around that time I started becoming friends with my friend Graphically Alex. And he was telling me about this diet he was on. And it just so happened that a lot of things that I was eating corresponded with what he was, telling people to eat. And this included, really valuing saturated fat and not really being afraid of carbs. And so I was kind of really on the same page with him by the time that we met and started doing this diet, but it really did help me solidify the plans that I had to stick to that diet, because sometimes you're just kind of going into it blind. You don't really know what works. Keto's failed you, standard medical advice for weight loss has failed you. And it's just kind of like trial and error to figure out what works. And this is the first thing that's ever actually worked long term. I have never kept weight off for this long. And I found that even when I have to take a break, like a couple of weeks, and I will eat to maintenance or sometimes overeat a little bit just because I'll eat really calorie dense foods, I won't regain the weight, because I'm eating, at least if I'm eating a lot of food, I'm not eating those inflammatory causing foods that have lots of polyunsaturated fat or processed soy in them. That really contributes to making you regain the weight. And how does it make you regain the weight? We've talked about this a lot, but just in case this is your first video seeing me having lost 55 pounds, why do those things make you gain weight? Well, inflammatory causing things really kind of mess up your body in the way that it responds to hunger cues. So it makes you hungrier, and you end up just eating more calories than you really realize. You think, well, if I'm hungry, well, I need to eat. And it turns out the reason why you're hungry is not because you actually are hungry, it's because you're eating food that makes you hungry. So it was around fall that I really got a handle on this like low polyunsaturated fat, low soy diet that I started going on. I mean, I do sometimes still eat some polyunsaturated fats. For example, I'll have avocados every now and then, but that's different than having seed oils that are highly processed and not really found in nature, right? Like you can pick an avocado off of a tree, but you're not going to find like seed oil in the wild, right? We have to make it in an industrial setting, processed from seeds and other plants that were never really meant to be consumed that way. And also at that time, I really started embracing the high carb lifestyle. Before then, I was already, I'm going to have fruit. I don't care there's sugar in it. I'm going to eat it. And Alex was the one who finally convinced me, no, it's not just fruit. You can also have sugar. You can eat ice cream and still lose weight. There is a calorie realism thing here, but sugar does not magically make you fat. It's eating too much sugar. It's eating too much of anything that's like, of caloric value that is going to make you fat. Not exactly sugar itself. So if you are craving sugar, have the sugar, just fit it into your calorie deficit. And also, it's probably better for you to eat that excess sugar than it is to grab a bag of potato chips that have the same amount of calories but also have those seed oils in them that are going to make you hungrier. People will say that sugar makes you hungrier, but if you're eating it with something like fruit, which has like, all the fiber in that fruit, or you're eating with something like ice cream, which has all the whole milk that has saturated fat, then the saturated fat's going to fill you up. The fruit's going to fill you up. Eating the potato chips is going to cause you a gross amount of inflammation, and it's just going to make you hungrier. Also, it's going to make you puff up. I mean, there's a reason why we're abbreviating it to PUFA. It's not just because it's a short acronym for polyunsaturated fat, but PUFA makes you puffy. Just saying. So as you can see, I cut out all the polyunsaturated fats that are really bad for me. I increased my carb intake, and you can learn more about that in like the diet videos that I've done previously. I have some playlists that you can check out to see how that all progressed. I just make sure that I eat a lot of red meat and saturated fat, and also a lot of carbs, basically everything the medical industry told me not to eat. But that's not really what I'm here to talk about. I really want to talk about where I started on this weight loss journey. So like you saw in this picture compared to this other picture, there is just a massive difference in what my face looks like. And something I haven't really talked about on this channel is kind of like where I started weight-wise. I may have dropped like hints here or there, but I didn't really say what the number was. And the reason for that was, I was kind of embarrassed about how big I had gotten. And it's not because I was like a binger, because I wasn't, or I was just really careless with what I was eating. I was pretty much trying to eat the things that like diets told me to eat and what the medical industry told me to eat, and it just wasn't working. And I would end up overeating just a little bit at a time, and over time it got worse and worse and worse. Didn't help that I was getting constantly injured, so my activity levels were just in the toilet, and I also had hormonal issues to deal with that, make your metabolism a little bit slower, but obviously that's not enough to actually make you gain all the weight, but it does make you hungrier, which, as I was saying, you eat to your full, and sometimes that full level is more calories than you actually need. So that is to say, beyond like medication, I really had no feasible guidance on how to lose weight or maintain my weight, and I ended up becoming 347 pounds. And that was in spring of 2022. So like right before I started the whole weight loss thing in June of 2022. So in order to be like a healthy weight, I need to be under 142 pounds. I mean, obviously that can be flexed a little bit with like muscle mass, but ideally it's supposed to be around 130-ish pounds. So that made losing 50 pounds and 55 pounds just two really big milestones on this journey. First, losing 50 pounds got me under the 300 mark. I am no longer in the 300s when it comes to weight. I'm in the 200s. That's really exciting to like say. I know it's kind of, I didn't really want to talk about it the first time when I brought it up in my last video where I lost 50 pounds because I was still just kind of like with the being so close to 300, and there is that embarrassing factor attached to it. But now I'm a little bit further away, so it's fine. And I really can't stress what a huge accomplishment that is because I've kept that off for over a year. Like I'm losing and continuing to lose, and I haven't regained anything. So that, in my opinion, means that the diet is working. I've been losing weight for over a year, and I haven't regained a pound. And yes, I understand it's very slow. I know the max a person can lose in a whole year as far as fat loss goes is like 104 pounds. It's 2 pounds per week, but there's just something about sometimes losing weight that fast that can actually be kind of harmful to your body. And what I mean by harmful is that it can really confuse the way that your body is, interacting with food. You become hungrier, you have to like starve yourself a little bit more. And I just wasn't at a place where I could diet that much efficiently. And some people can. I'm not gonna put the people down who were able to do it. I just know for me, when I've lost that much weight in the past that quickly, I was always prone to regaining it more quickly as well. Versus this time, I feel like it's more sustainable because I can stay the same weight for a significant amount of time, not regain it, and then continue to lose more. So why is 55 pounds lost another huge milestone? Well, in order to get to that goal of around 130-ish pounds, let's just say 130, I have to lose something like 217 pounds total from where I started. So losing 55 pounds officially puts me past the 25% mark. I am now more than a quarter done with my weight loss goal, which is great because it's like, I know there's still 75% to go, but geez, 1/4 is like a huge chunk to accomplish. And I'm just thinking, geez, if it only took me about a year to get there, I mean, the max that I would have left is 3 more years. I mean, I'm hoping it's sooner. I'm hoping this year it's a lot easier now that I'm working from home. I'm not as stressed and, you know, exerting myself and really running on adrenaline. It'll, you know, come quicker, but that's really good. You know, that's like, that means I'm on the right track. And I really do think it's going to be easier this year just because, as I said, I'm working from home, so I can, everything that I eat, I can get out of my refrigerator. I don't have to like rely on eating out, because this is what happens. Like, people say, well, just cook from home. You know, sometimes things happen and you have to get to work super early, and so you have to grab something on the way. You don't have anything prepared. You can't sit down to eat. You can't eat at work sometimes. And then sometimes work is so stressful when you've worked more than 8 hours that day and you're just exhausted and you're like, geez, I have nothing at home to eat. And you can't imagine going to the store, buying something, taking it home, cooking it, and then eating on top of everything else you have to do. So you eat out and you buy something. And even if you try to eat very healthy with the things that you eat out with, it's not, you just don't know exactly what's being put into that food. There's always limited options depending on where you live, and you can't rely on somebody else to make sure the ingredients that are in there are the ingredients that you need to eat. I don't trust the calorie thing on the top on the menu as well. Yes, obviously being able to control what I'm eating with everything coming out of my refrigerator, you know, every single day for every single meal, other than like the occasional eating out with my parents, it's not that bad. It's gonna be way easier. I'm really confident it's gonna work, and I'm just really excited for the year to come. So what does it look like for this next year? Well, I did join a gym. I think I talked about that in my last video, and I haven't gone yet. I do plan on starting this next week. One of the reasons why I haven't gone because I was just so burned out over the summer with like moving to Michigan and changing jobs and having to set up my office, which you can see here. I'll eventually like reveal the full office thing once it's like finally put together. It is so messy in here, you can't see it. But yeah, once everything is put together, I have like my Star Wars shrine over here. You can kind of see a little bit of like the stormtrooper or something in the corner. And then I have my Taylor Swift doing the music shrine over here, where I have, you know, some books and a lot of Taylor Swift paraphernalia, and then I even have like a little like Olivia Rodrigo just like snuck in there. But yeah, I'm really excited to show it to you once it's all fully set up, so you can see how much of a loser I am. I'm a huge nerd. I'm not ashamed. Yeah, it's been fun trying to get my life together, but it's also been kind of stressful. I'm also doing really good with my calorie deficit. I'm eating somewhere between 1,500 and 1,700 calories per day. Every now and then I'll have like a maintenance day where I'm like, you know what, it's really, really stressful and I'm very hungry. I'm just gonna eat to the, you know, what was it, like 1,900 calories or whatever to maintain my weight without exercise. And then it's fine, because the other days I'm, you know, eating less, and it just over a week averages out to maintain that deficit. I think when I first started, I was eating around 1,800 calories per day, between 1,800 and 2,000, because I weighed more, so I had to eat more calories, and I could still lose the same amount of weight, but, you know, as I lose more weight, I have to eat less and less, or start working out more, which I will start working out next week, so I expect to see some more progress. But anyways, that was my update video. I'm so happy to have lost 55 pounds. I can't wait to update you again when I lose 60. That will probably be a few weeks from now, if not a whole month. We'll just have to wait and see. In the meantime, I got more videos to show you, and I can't wait to show you these videos. And you just have a great day. I'll talk to you later.